Hello BookTube, it's time to do the Quarter Year Crisis book tag. This tag was created by Royson Reading, and I will link to her channel in the show notes down below. Question number 1. How many books have you read so far this year? I have read 225 books. Of those, pretty much all of them have been volumes of manga, Japanese comics. I have had so far a stellar year reading manga, although I did suffer some burnout a few weeks ago, and I'm coming over that burnout. I have read some and reread some volumes of poetry as well, and I have read some history. So far, I have not read any fiction. I have also bailed on 10 or 11 books, mostly history. Most recently, yesterday, Monday, which I will rant about this coming Friday with weekly reads. Question number 2. Have you already found a book you think might be a 2025 favorite? I have 3. All of them manga. First up, and in descending order of volume number, is volume 36 of Black Clover by Yuki Tabata. Black Clover is a long-running manga series about a young man named Asta, who, in a world in which everybody is born with magical abilities or the potential to use magic using a grimoire as a focus, Asta does not. He is born without magic. However, that does not stop him from aspiring to become the Wizard King, the commander of the magical army in the Clover Kingdom. Fortunately for Asta and his dream, he does manage to find a grimoire, a black grimoire that allows him to draw anti-magic swords that makes him more than a match for any other wizard. Asta's best friend and foster brother is Yuno, who is a considerable prodigy when it comes to magic and also aspires to become the Wizard King. Both Asta and Yuno join various orders of magic knights. Asta joins the outcast Black Bulls, while Yuno joins the Golden Dawn, a more prestigious order. And together they advance through the ranks and go on adventures, saving the Clover Kingdom. And they eventually go to battle a family of evil wizards who are seeking to control the world, which Black Clover is currently in its final arc, in its final battles. And volume 36 was amazing. It left me a quivering mess. Also leaving me a quivering mess was volume 30 of Eden Zero by Hiro Mishima, which is Hiro Mishima's most recent series. It wrapped up its run late last year, and his final volumes are being currently published in English. He does have a more recent series coming out, which I'll talk to about it in a second. So Eden Zero is about a young man named Shiki who was born and who was raised on a planet of androids. It's a tourist planet. One day, a young woman named Rebecca and her Exceed companion Happy come to the planet to film videos for her B-Cube channel. When the androids seem to malfunction and try to kill Rebecca and Happy, and also Shiki when he comes to rescue them. And together, the 3 flee the planet and decide to become adventurers looking for the great cosmic goddess figure, Mother. And so they form a crew of outcasts that quickly become a found family aboard the starship Eden Zero, which was left to Shiki as a legacy from his foster grandfather, the demon lord Ziggy. However, Ziggy seems to have been corrupted by a rogue AI and has developed an anti-human agenda as the captain of the Eden's One. And so the race is on to find Mother. Volume 30, which is again towards the end of the series of battles, that final scene, it left me a quivering mess of joy. And finally, Dead Rock Volume 1, also by Hiro Mashima, his most recent series. Dead Rock is about a young man named Yuko who wants to kill God for what God did to his family. In this setting, there are three realms. God is sort of over everything, and he runs a school in the underworld, where in the demon realm, where prospective evil overlords go to learn, kill each other, and if they graduate, they can get a realm in the human world to rule as they see fit. Yuko is basically, he gets a special exam to get into the school, and he's put in sort of an outcast class with others who took this test, and he quickly marshals them into a group that will help him take out God. And the first volume was really fun. I'm really looking forward to what else is coming in future volumes. As far as anything else is concerned, so far, speaking for first reads, there's a lot of manga has really stood out to me. But when it comes to everything else, not so much. Volume number 3. Any one-star book's least favorite book of the year? Not necessarily a one-star book, but certainly a disappointment would be The Power and the Glory by Adrian Tenniswood. It's about great country houses during the Victorian and Edwardian and early Georgian periods, so from 1870-ish to 1914. And it's about sort of the architecture of these houses, how they were remodeled, the various owners, whether they be high royalty, aristocracy, the gentry, wealthy industrialists, tourists, what various styles were used in these houses, how they were improved, the technology, what life was like, that sort of thing. I really enjoyed Tenniswood's previous book, Noble Ambitions, which I think had a more centered focus, while this one was a bit more meandering, and it didn't quite work with me as well as I was hoping for. And maybe my disappointment with it, and to a lesser extent Last Dynasty, was that I was hoping that maybe history could be, or I had a feeling history might be making a comeback, might be coming back into favor with me. My reading is very much like a royal court, with me being an insane, tyrannical, evil overlord. Yeah, you get the idea. And history had been a favorite genre of mine for a few years, but it fell out of favor last year. And this year still was out of favor, and I had a feeling that maybe history could be making a comeback, might be coming back into favor. And nope. Which is why you don't see kind of a bookcase obstructing the view of this bookcase here. I moved it over to classics, canonical, modern, contemporary fiction, poetry, and drama, which probably works better for it. But anyway, I'll talk a bit more about that probably in a forthcoming book haul or something. So what history I've managed to read so far this year has been disappointing. Question number 4. Most read genre so far. Manga. By a huge margin. Probably 200 volumes. Probably more than that. Slightly more than that. But yeah, the vast majority of my reading this year so far has been manga. And it will probably continue to be manga throughout the year. Even if I do decide not to continue with my reading project, which is to read whole series of manga. Although I might also continue with that, but that comes up in a later prompt. Question number 5. A book that surprised you. Well, I talked about a book that surprised me in a more negative way. I think maybe that would be a reread, and that is Unusually Grand Ideas by James Davis May. It's a slim volume of poetry that I reread a few weeks ago that, despite its very depressing contents, really got me back into poetry over the last few weeks. Question number 6. Book that's come out in 2025 already that you want to read but haven't yet. Probably I'll go with Sakamoto Days Volume 16 by Yuto Suzuki. It's about a retired hitman who gets drawn back into the hitman life. I've been slowly collecting, or I've just recently gotten into Sakamoto Days, and I just recently got caught up, but I haven't read the most recent 6 volumes, which I will do this coming weekend. So I will get caught up with that. Then in Volume 16 came out about a month or so ago. Question number 7. One goal you made that you are succeeding at. So the main reading goal I had for 2025 was to read a completed manga series, or to reread it. There are a number of manga series that I have been collecting over the last few years that have completed their runs and that I have all the volumes of and I have previously read. So I've been working on a rereading project of all of them, or many of them. And so far it's been going well, although I did hit a bit of a roadblock with Alice in Borderland by Haruo Aso. Which it's a bit disappointing. I might try to reread it again later this year, or trying to retool that project. Question 8. One goal you made you need to focus on. Just that one. I am thinking about maybe doing some more booktube projects. If I have time, I might make a video addressing one of them today, or if not, later this week. But yeah, I do want to participate more in some booktube events, and also some forthcoming personal reading projects, namely an American-centric one in July, and then back to school one in August, which I'll talk about, closer to those times. Anyway, and finally, question 9 is new to you booktubers, bookstagram, book talkers for 2025 you recommend. I don't think I've actually watched any new book to me booktubers so far in 2025. I don't think so. So anyway, hopefully I will discover some new booktubers throughout the rest of the year. So anyway, booktube, until I see you tomorrow, thank you, have a great afternoon, and stay safe.